Oh, what's going on there? It's not showing what it's supposed to be showing. Wait a minute, it's not showing the meat, it's showing the studio. There we are. Okay, weird. It was showing my studio. And now it's all jacked up. I still haven't fixed my problem yet, not being able to just schedule a stream here, so I might have to resize a few things here. While I'm doing that, Chesh, can you kind of tell people what's going on here? While I'm figuring
Kyle actually showed up to court.
Oh wait, hi Chesh. It's been a while.
Hi.
Been a couple days.
Hey.
I can't
Color
hear
me
you.
surprised.
Mine or yours?
I'm not mine.
All right, well, I can hear you. So tell people what's going on. Why I kind of fix the imagery here. So you're a nice.
The greatest surprise of 2021. Kyle showed the fuck up. Surprise! Also, this is Taro. So if you hear the dogs, Taro's visiting downstairs right now. He's kind of upset about it, but he hurt his little poor puppy paw. So I'm house sitting him a little bit. So if you hear him whining, it's because he wants to go somewhere he's not allowed to go with his little injured paw. Poor little guy.
I don't want to hear a puppy in pain. That kills me. You know that. I mean, even though it's nobody's fault, but.
No. He basically what had happened is his leg was tangled in a blanket while he was laying down, and he went to jump off, and it like the blanket held onto his toe, and it like this hurt his little paw a little bit, sprained it a bit.
Oh, so so he's just not a happy doggo.
No, he's just a big upset pupper, whiny baby face, and he's not happy about it.
Well, give him some love, give him some attention.
I can't. If I give him attention, Puck gets mad.
Oh, it's one of those jealousy things. I cannot resize this properly. I don't know what the heck's going on here. You guys don't want to see me anyways. It's all about Cheshire anyways. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea why this is not resizing properly. Everything's just stopped working when I went to Windows 11. I'm not quite sure why, but a lot of things started acting up big time. I mean, well, you know what I can do.
I have Windows 11 now? I don't even know. It recently just did an update, but I don't know.
It kind of forced me to. I mean, I could have not. I mean, I had to fix one thing to make it compatible because I did a test on it. But if I hadn't fixed that, then it wouldn't have been compatible and it wouldn't have automatically updated. But whatever. I kind of like Windows 11. There's a few things about it I don't like, but like the calendar. They got rid of the. What do they call it? The fly out from when you hit the date, and you could.
Yeah. Like pops up.
Pops out, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. This is the best I can do right now. So, if people want to at least see both of us, and then.
Yeah. How did you mess this up?
I have no idea.
I'm looking at the outside, and it's just like, first off, I'm offended by how many tabs you have open.
I have a lot of tabs open.
Yeah, I know. 2 of them are your inbox.
Well, no, 2 of them are different accounts.
Three of them are.
But they're different accounts. Well, 2 of them are the same account. I thought you said you
didn't have any stock accounts.
It's not a stock account. Two of them are my main account, and one of them is the RNGD account that I'm using for this particular stream, so we don't get timed out. I just have an extra tab on that. I didn't close one of them out, so I only have 2 emails for that. But anyways, I'm not going to be able to fix this. I have no idea what's wrong. And I just don't care. People aren't here for that. Raw Nakedness says, your doggo wants out the door. Is that what he wants? He wants out?
No, I took him out before we started. He does not want to be outside. He wants to go back upstairs because that's where he lives. But he's not allowed to be up there right now by himself because he's a wiener and he ate some things he wasn't supposed to. And he hurt his little toe bean. And so if I put him upstairs by himself, nobody will be able to watch him, so he's not licking his little toe bean. And his brother will also be licking his little injured toe bean. So this is my life right now, just crying dogs.
All my emails out there. Oops. Nothing spectacular. People are like, oh, let's look at Steve's email. It's so exciting. It's mostly Spotify shit. But I cannot figure this out if my life depended on it right now. Everything's acting up. I don't know why. See?
He's also bored. Are you bored?
Alright. I'm not going to be able to figure this out. I don't know why. So, anyways, about the hearing today. Yes, Kyle showed. And This is
He
what
always calls me when I make dinner, by the way.
I call you when you make dinner.
Yeah, every time we
Yeah,
do one
that's
of these
true.
streams, I'm eating.
You are
Because you
eating.
keep calling.
That is a fact. You eat a lot. Every time I do call you, you are eating something or have at least a drink in hand. Not necessarily alcohol, but I mean, you're always eating or drinking something. Always. Yeah, you're like a little oink oink or something. Where do you put it all? It's like you're so small.
Straight to my ass. Go straight to my ass.
It is bizarre how you can just eat so much. I can't. I'm on a diet. I've been on a diet. So, and I'm going to try this one more time to fix this. So, what happened on the hearing today? Kyle did show, and he has said that he wanted a public defender for his criminal case, which he's allowed to have, which automatically gives him a little bit of an extension. So, the next hearing is November 9th. They did postpone it, but again, I think it's by legalities, because if he asks for a public defender for a criminal proceeding, then it automatically triggers, a couple weeks that they have to allow for. And I do understand that. It just sucks. So like I was saying early on the earlier stream, there's nothing bad per se, but it's just more hurry up and wait. And I don't get that. I don't understand what there is to wait for when he should have been in jail for civil contempt at least. But whatever. I trust my lawyer, and he assures me there's really not much could have been done on that. But the judge has told him if he doesn't comply by if he complies by the 9th, it won't be as hard on him. And he has said that he will contact my lawyer in order to meet the purge conditions. Do I believe him on that? No.
Last time he tried to comply, he came out with some like horrendously done, pathetic books that the judge recognized as a failure at even an attempt to comply. And also, he made it public instead of sending it to Steve's lawyer like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I mean, even the court recognized that there was a failure to even attempt to comply. It was so bad. No. I really don't know why I can't use Alt to change this window like I normally do. It's completely not working for me. And so I don't want to... yeah, you guys just gonna have to suffer. It's gonna be a voice thing only today, I guess. Sorry,
What?
Chesh.
Use our pictures.
Use our pictures?
Yeah.
Why? They know what we look like. They don't care.
But I have cute goblin pictures.
Fine. I'll see if I can add in a goblin picture. No, I don't.
Send you one?
No, I got some stuff. I just want to. There's other things out there that I probably won't want to. I don't want to put live, but I don't know why I don't know why I guess just put this hangout. I mean, I don't care if they have the link out there because I can control who comes in and out. So that's not a big deal, but I just don't know why it's not allowing me to crop. It's just bugging me. I go to Windows Capture.
OBS that's not letting you do it?
Yeah, OBS not letting me do it. Manya says, I think court needs to recognize that there was a serious attempt to harm the channel by Kyle. And yeah, I agree with you on that as well, that the court does need to recognize that when Kyle made everything public. But again, how much more what can they really do to the guy? Unfortunately, they're limited. The civil court is limited in what they can do. And unfortunately for criminal contempt, you're limited by a $500 fine, which he may be fined, which I don't give a shit about, because why do I want him to be fined? I don't want that. 30 days in jail for each contempt charge, which is 2, which he in theory could get out of at this point, which I'm not happy with. If he was to meet the purge conditions by November 9th, the sooner the better, he could actually make an argument to the judge, I've complied, and he don't spend more in jail over that. And I'm not too thrilled about that, but I have to recognize that as a possibility. But I will tell you right now, Kyle's never going to do that. Kyle's going to wait to the last possible moment if he even does anything. And I really don't think he's going to get in touch with my lawyer, because he said he's going to do that before and he didn't. And so his word means nothing. One thing we've learned from Kyle is his word is meaningless, absolutely meaningless. So, and also he has a hearing on the 29th, but from what I understand, that may be postponed. And if it's postponed, then he has a $10,000 bond on this particular case that he has to show up for. So I was worried that he might go to the other one, go to jail for that one. That kind of eliminates his reason for meeting the purge conditions, but I found out that that probably will be postponed, and even then, it's going to still be a lot harder on him if he goes to jail for that other thing, and he still will go to jail for the 2 criminal contempt charges rather than try to get out of him by obeying the court order for the civil. Because according to this judge, the judge seems to want to let him off. The judge is seemingly giving him every opportunity to say, look, you comply with going through Steve's lawyer, and you might be able to get out of the criminal contempt. Because if you don't, then I'm going to make the worst possible case against you. That was basically what she had said, which means that...
Yeah, the court is going out of their way to not have to condemn Kyle in any way, shape, or form.
Right, and I'm not thrilled about that.
Well, it's kind of at the point where it's gotten unreasonable.
And I understand
you look so miserable.
I understand there's legal things out there. I get that. But, it's frustrating, but I understand it is the legal system. I get that. And you have to at least work within the legal system. Helios says,
and the court doesn't have any of the information of all of the people that are trying to help Kyle in the meantime, like publicly try to go after you or whoever related to Non-Sequitur in any way, shape, or form to try and do as much harm possible. But that's not, even though it's like for Kyle, it's not a part, it's such a separate issue that it's just not a factor to the court, right?
It doesn't seem to be, no. I think the first judge was probably more aware of some things than this particular judge, but I don't think it's a factor with
didn't he talk to people that were trying to mess with what was going on?
Yes, he did.
Didn't that judge have to supposedly talk to those people?
Yes, he did. Well, that dog is, I just feel so bad for him. He sounds like he's like having a rough time.
He is. He's having a rough time right now. He's crying, man. Hi, fuck yeah. You guys gonna sing for me?
That's the best I can do right there, so whatever. I can't size anything, so at least they can see us.
The dog has been let out. He has an injury and he's sad. And he wants to go back upstairs, but he cannot go back upstairs. I'm more than happy to explain again, but
that sounds more of a whiny rather than a pain thing. But
oh yeah, he's just whining. He's just being a suck. Yeah, he's having a little bit of anxiety.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds anxiety to me too.
Yeah, he wants to go back upstairs where he lives, where he will be more comfortable, but I can't let him back up there right now because he's been destroying things, and he's going to go up there and destroy something, which he's not allowed to do. And
that's why he's staring at that door. He's like, let me out.
Yes, he's also been licking his wound, and he can't be left alone. So he's down here. That's why he's down here with me right now, because they're at work.
Well, it's funny is we have this hangout to talk about Kyle, and we're talking about the dog, which I like because I'd rather talk about the dog than Kyle, to be honest with you. I worry more about dogs than I do Kyle.
Dog is a higher priority.
Dogs are a higher priority than most people, and especially Kyle. Yes. But I just wanted to get something out there real quick that, Kyle did show, and I do think it was because of the bond, because his family, from what I understand, put up $1,000 bond, or $1,000 for the $10,000 bond. If he doesn't show that rest of the bond, that $9,000, they have to come up with, or the bail bond goes after Kyle for it. And so I think he has incentive to show. I think he may realize now that the walls are closing in. He's already spent time in jail, and if he doesn't want to spend any more time in jail, he'll just comply with the court order. But I think if he does, it'll be more malicious compliance, if anything. And I think that he's going to basically squander this last possible opportunity he has to get out of spending at least minimum 60 days in jail, plus time for the civil contempt. But he is going to get a public defender. I don't know what the public defender is going to defend. He didn't show. What's his excuse? What is it to defend?
I think that there's like something to be said for the court giving him a get out of jail free card to be like, just do what we tell you to do and cough. We don't want to have to deal with you either.
But he knew that. He knew from day one. All he had to do was abide by the court order, and he wouldn't have to spend another day in jail. Now he's looking at additional time. And we're getting nowhere with the detective as far as the perjury, forgery, and embezzlement charges. And so, I mean, if he would just comply and turn everything over, it might all go away. And
yep.
I'm being honest about this. I don't know what's going to happen. We are not hearing anything back from the detective on the other charges, which sucks. And I'm not going to bullshit people and say, well, you know, they're that we're getting somewhere. We're not, and I'm not happy about it. But this is another opportunity Kyle has to basically get away scot-free, and he's not going to take it. But at least I feel like I gave the best possible advice. Turn everything over tomorrow. Turn everything over tonight. Get it out of the way. The sooner it's turned over, and I'm not talking about the channel. I'm talking about the paperwork. I'm talking about the taxes. I'm talking about his bank account records. I'm talking about all that. That's what we're asking for. Because whether we get the channel back or not, at this point, it's a kind of, you know, if hit or miss. But I want to have his bank account records, and I want to see where that money went, and I want to see how we can get restitution from his accounts. You know, and so he has to turn that information over. Because there will be financial compensation at some time. The civil court cannot demand financial compensation. We can get that criminally. This is one of the reasons we want it criminal, because the criminal can set up a restitution for the embezzlement, right? That can be done through the criminal aspect, but we're not getting much motion on there. So I can't get anything set up through the criminal, but I can at least get in a position where I have 10 years where I can go after him. And if he tries to hide money, that's a offense. That's a criminal offense. So I want that paperwork. I want his bank account information. I've already said, you know, I don't expect him to ever turn over that channel, because it's the only one thing that he has as a playing card. That's his one, you know, ace in the hole. And so as soon as he turns that over, he knows he's lost. And I don't think his ego will allow that. Whatever.
Trigger Tit says, how many chances does one idiot deserve? And the answer is like, I don't know, 2.
Yeah, at most. Well, and here's the thing though. Look at the people that were supporting Kyle. Right? I mean, how many chances do they get? They don't deserve anything. They're the ones that have gone out of their way to put Kyle in this situation. They're the ones that literally have screwed Kyle by Kyle listening to these people. And even though I don't think we're getting much motion on the embezzlement charges, I do think if any charges go through, it'll be the perjury charges. I think those are cut and dry. So I think that those probably will happen, but you know, he might be able to talk his way out of that. But I want the embezzlement charge, because that way I can get restitution through the court system. But I don't think that's going to happen right now.
Well, if we learned anything, it's that the longer this gets drawn out, the worse it gets for Kyle. Like, half these charges wouldn't have even happened if Kyle didn't do what he did, and then treat the court the way he's treated the court. And
he got moved because of the contempt charge. I mean, he was in jail because of the contempt charge. He would have been out on the assault charge because somebody posted his $2,000 bond.
Yeah, but what I more mean to say is that it was so exhausting at the time, and how like worn out. I'm remembering how worn out we were when there was no movement. And now, hey Taro, you having a bad time? Oh, now you're going. Are you both crying now?
Yeah,
it's my life.
Kyle's Goldfish said those supporters have been relatively quiet in support of him of late. But well, not by much. There's still people that still support him. But it's not a matter of they still support him per se. It's just that they think that it's harming me. Nothing's harming me at this point. The non-sequitur case is done as far as I'm concerned. Everything's paid off on it. It's done. It's over. We're asking for final judgment, and it's over. Whether he turns over the channel or not is irrelevant at this point. He's going to go to jail if he doesn't turn over those paperworks. If he doesn't turn over his bank account records and his IRS forms and all that shit, he's going to go to jail for that. So regardless if he turns over the channel or not, that is a purge condition he has to meet, is turning over those records, right? So,
one of the things is that at the end of the day, like, how exhausted were we all when we were like, there's no movement. And then we finally got a bunch of movement, and we caught him doing the perjury. We caught him with forged bank stuff. We caught him with forged signature stuff, right? Like, so what happens this time? It draws out. And so what's the next thing he's going to get caught on? It got drawn out, and then he got a domestic violence charge. So, like, what's the next thing? It's always
going to be something with him. And I don't want to be attached to him like that any longer. Oh, you're muted.
I know. I'm just getting the doggos. Oh. They're getting scritches. I know, life is so hard.
And so, I mean, like I said, I mean, I have my Katie Joy lawsuit that I need to focus on. I can't do anything about the non-sequitur any longer. It's out of my hands. It's basically up to the public defender, which is going to represent Kyle, the judge, and my lawyer. And other than that, I'm done with it. I can't do anything more. But all I know is that Kyle's going to end up in jail if he doesn't meet those PERS conditions. It has nothing to do with even the criminal contempt. He has to meet those PERS conditions, and under that PERS condition is he needs to turn over those records. And I just don't see him doing that. To me at all. I think that he'll.
Well, he's got to turn up with records he doesn't have.
Well, he has his bank account records. Those he has. That money went somewhere. That money went somewhere. Every payment that he made, every trip that he took, everything that he bought has to be somewhere. That money has to be allocated for. He has those records somewhere. He can't lie and say that he doesn't have those. Every time he took a trip, he has to account for that money.
Right. Yeah. So like all of this stuff when he went and visited his buddies all down at Faithless Forum who have remained silent on this.
Yeah.
I saw somebody tagging people with me that I'm like, don't tag me. I don't want to be associated with these people.
I don't blame you. But that's kind of where we stand in the non-sequitur showcase. I mean, I've done all I can. I feel like I've fought as hard as I could. It's in the court hands. I don't want to stress about it. Yeah, I don't want to stress about it because I think Kyle has lost across the board, no matter what happens. His reputation is shot. His word means nothing. He's lied to not just me, but he's lied to people that supported him. He has shown his true colors by being someone who is willing to commit domestic violence, apparently, and lie to the court and commit perjury and forgery and all these other things, which I believe that very strongly he did. Now, granted, he has not been convicted on those things, but the evidence is pretty overwhelming that he lied under oath. I think anybody who disagrees with that has not read the transcripts or followed the case, because it has been proven that he submitted false evidence. That is unequivocally the case. We have the originals. We have his. They don't match. Period.
Right. Yeah.
Period.
And we've also got like the two ones that under penalty of perjury during the deposition, Kyle said that, and under affidavits that Kyle said that these things were signed physically in different places and they're identical.
Yep.
They're settling down.
And that's forgery. Down.
Well, yeah, it's perjury and also forgery. So it's like, these are cut and dry at this point. It's just on the court to do whatever the court's going to do. It's just, it would be nice to have the fucking channel back during this time.
Your wonderful maternal unit has said, "I'm so sorry. It is more weight. Blah blah blah. He is the master of this. It seems he will pay in the end. I'm sure stuff always catches up." And no, he's not. I mean, I agree with that to a point. I mean, he's not in control of anything. Matter of fact, he doesn't realize, I think, how much little control that he has.
Himself.
Right. He has every opportunity been provided to him. He has not taken it. This is the last hope that he has to listen to the judge and get everything done ASAP. The longer he waits, the more I have told my lawyer and I've instructed him to make note that this has been going on for a long time. And if he gets off scot-free with no jail time, I feel like I have not been, I've been done a disservice by the court. And so, if he argues with the judge, hey, Kyle waited the last minute to turn this stuff over, and there's been now 2 more weeks of harm. I think there needs to be some accountability for that. And so, my lawyer wants him in jail just as much as I do. I think. I mean, that's not his words, but I do think that he thinks that is justice at this point. And I'm not trying to speak for him. He has not directly said that to me, but I get that impression, I guess you can say.
Your interpretation of what and how he's saying what he's saying.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's just
we'll have to see.
Ridiculous how much opportunity this guy's had when all the time all he does is screwed everybody over, and damn well because of his ego he's going to try to make a comeback one of these days. You know it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're all gonna sit there and laugh about it. It's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be absolutely glorious.
You know what's funny? He's gonna make it. He's gonna manage. Want to bet? I will bet you $5 right now he will have a following if he waits about a year and tries to come back, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. But the thing that's going to be really funny is depending on where we're at the time, because I assure you it's not really going to be us But if NonSequitur is doing well and it's taken us that long because of him, I assure you that the messages that he got on Tastecraft are probably going to be quite similar.
Probably.
And then he'll fizzle into near non-existence.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. But anyways,
or he's gonna do quite well for himself, and he's gonna provide me with content in perpetuity.
Probably.
Because I'm just gonna be sitting there on like once a Friday, being like, "All right, so what nonsense did Kyle get up to this time? Oh, still awful. Hey, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage."
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, like I said, I think it's shown his true colors. JB says, if I watch old non-sec, who gets ad money? Well, it's not me. None of that money's going to me.
Currently, still Kyle. It's all still going to him.
Yeah.
The other one is like, I watched an old episode of NonSequitur the other day. It's on my channel. It was awful. It was the first episode of The Smoking Nun. And it's just, wow, you two are awful fucking people. Awful fucking people. Good. And it's just like this whole argument that Steve is the one ruining the show is so like, anybody go pick an episode, go back and rewatch it, and watch an episode that doesn't have Steve in it. Yeah, and you tell me if Steve was the one ruining the show.
Yeah, I thought that narrative was kind of funny myself because I have watched a few of them. I didn't watch all the like Smoking Nuns and stuff like that because they just were horrible. But I did watch, the first couple ones, or at least majority of them, and I was like, this is kind of bad.
I am very concerned.
I think the third one was the worst. I was one of them was so bad that was just like, there's just no compatibility there. There's no play off each other whatsoever.
I am very concerned that my mother is starting to make friends with Kyle's goldfish.
Does she know who Kyle's goldfish is? Because I do. I don't think she does.
No.
Okay.
My mom?
Yeah, she doesn't know who she is.
No.
Yeah.
She knows her as Kyle, or him as Kyle's goldfish.
Yeah. Well, Kyle's goldfish is cool. I know who they are.
I don't know who they are, like as like a person.
Oh no, I know who they are. They're a Facebook friend of mine.
Ew. Mm-hmm. Who's Facebook friends with Steve?
Yeah, really?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I only got like 4,870 some odd friends.
You only have to clear it every so often because you reach the cap.
I reached the cap and I actually deleted.
Nobody likes.
I seriously, I deleted like a couple dozen people. I was going through people and I was like, I don't even know what the hell this came from, and I don't want to have fake interactions.
Is Kyle's goldfish gonna have to change their name when Kyle's in jail, or are they gonna stay Kyle's goldfish?
Kyle's prison goldfish. Well, as I said, how much jail?
That's not fair. The goldfish doesn't deserve to be in prison. The goldfish didn't do anything wrong.
How much jail is he going to get? This is why I'm upset. It seems like the court has said to them, "Hey, look, turn everything over by the 9th, and all this goes away." That's not justice to me. Yeah. That's not justice to me. Now, granted, I appreciate it, and it's a hope that he turns all this stuff over by the 9th. Do I think he's going to do it? No, but I mean, it's not. It's not what I consider to be justice when he has gone out of his way to lie to the court, and you lie to a court and there's no penalties for this. How is this possible? So I do.
Yeah, I would call that a failure on the justice system to like take care of itself.
Yeah, and I'm going to make some stink about that later on, obviously. But oh yeah, your mom's friends with me on Facebook, by the way.
My mom says, "Why is there a concern about Kyle's book?" Don't worry, I'm just teasing.
Yeah,
I'm just teasing. Just teasing.
But anyway, so what do you guys got questions? Like I said, there's not a lot to offer you guys right now on this, and I'm saddened by that a little bit. Again, there was no bad news today. It was nothing bad. It's just I am tired of the courts giving him so many opportunities and him getting away with dicking around with the system and harming, not just me, but harming the people that want to see him have a punishment for his actions, right? I mean, people want to see people accountable. Kyle let Scummer 5 pounds. So did Kyle win in court today? No, not at all. I mean, he has a public defender. He definitely didn't win anything because now he's looking at criminal charges. He needs a public defender. Yeah. That's the only reason why it was extended, because he asked for a public defender and he was granted one, which he's allowed to by law. So I want to consider that a win that he got a public defender on facing 2 criminal charges. A certain goof who remained nameless got reports that Kyle won in court today. I don't know what the hell that would even mean.
It wasn't that kind of a hearing.
Wasn't that kind of hearing? Yeah, there was nothing to win or lose. It was, does he?
It was comply or don't comply.
Yeah, it was either comply or if you don't comply, why not? And he says, look, I'm going to comply. He told the court, he told the judge, he will contact my lawyer to make these things happen. And he will get a public defender assigned to him for the criminal. That's not a win. That is just 2 more long weeks that didn't need to be when he could have been in jail today and then done this from the jail cell.
I mean,
so the judge is giving him a chance to do this before he goes to jail. But because if he has to do it from the jail cell, it's going to be 10,000 times worse.
If Kyle's goal is just to stretch this out as long as humanly possible, then I would call today a win for him.
Oh yeah, well if that's your metric. Whoopee.
If your goal is such so asinine and idiotic that you're just going to screw yourself over as much as fucking possible, I would call that a win. If Kyle's goal is to ruin his life and make it as hard on himself as possible, then yes, I would call this a day for him a win.
I'm okay with that. I mean,
or if his goal is if his metric is I don't want to go to jail at the end of this hearing.
Yeah, that's even better.
If that was his goal, then I would call that a win. He succeeded in not going to jail today. Yeah. Good job, Kyle.
But somebody had asked this. Monty has asked this, and it's a good question. She says, how much time does he have to talk to your lawyer? Well, in theory, he has until the 9th. However, it's going to take weeks to get this process. It's going to take a long time for this stuff to be turned over, and there's a lot of stuff that he needs to comply with. If he doesn't start immediately, contact Scott probably today or tomorrow, he's not going to have, I don't think he's going to have enough time to get it all done by the 9th. And that's not going to be an excuse.
Yeah, no, but if he was in contact with your lawyer, immediately, I got home from court and then I sent an email, or I got home from court, gathered what I do have, and I sent an email by the end of the day with as much information as I could possibly gather, and was working forward from there with an actual positive attitude to get some kind of resolution, then maybe the court would be like, okay, well, he's trying. Even if he didn't get it all done by the 9th, he's clearly getting it done. We're not going to put him in jail. The court would probably do that.
Well, I think this judge will, and that's what I think is not justice.
Yeah, I think that there's a line here between you fucked around, you should be finding out. Right? And the court's just not doing the find out part. Now, it's also possible that the court's listen, we just want to get this resolved because we're going to nail him with this over here anyway. So we don't care whether or not he goes to jail over for these to perjure himself, because he's going to be fucked on this anyway. So we just want to get this resolved to benefit Steve at that point. Then that part of it is resolved, so that way the court can move to where it needs to go.
Yeah. Manya says, so what happens if he doesn't contact your lawyer by the 9th? He goes to jail that day.
If he's not already in jail.
Yeah, I don't think he will be. I think the 29th is going to get postponed.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. So I don't think he's going to be in jail by that, but he is under $10,000 bond. So
even if it doesn't get postponed, domestic violence does not usually end up in jail time of any large amount.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to get much time for that. I think he'll probably get a probation.
At least from my experience. Yeah, wait, what? People are going to take that out of context.
Yeah, wait a minute. What's your experience with domestic violence, Shush?
What's your experience with domestic violence and how long people are in jail for?
Yeah. I mean, are you going around beating up your domestic partners? Is that what your thing is? I'm not judging. I'm just, actually I am.
You're not judging?
Yeah, I am judging. Yeah, I am, because that's pretty messed up. I mean, unless they're into that stuff. That's what my only excuse was, hey, maybe they're into that, which if 2 people comply, I don't know. But I mean, I'm definitely somebody who is an advocate against domestic violence, clearly. So, yeah, I don't think you should go around ever violently, attacking somebody like Kyle did. I'd go figure, right? Or anybody.
Domestic or not, maybe just don't attack people in general if avoidable.
Goddess Scummer says, I sent you a DM earlier about the fuck with whose name I don't want to mention. I normally don't pay attention to him, but I stumbled across it and got a chuckle out of it. Yeah, I read it last hangout, if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen any of it.
No, this was a Hoven thing.
Paying attention.
Hoven.
Oh yeah.
Hoven's thing was denied yesterday for a new trial, a de novo trial, from what I understand.
Shocking.
Yeah. Do you know who's not been under any indictment? Do you know who's not been arrested? Do you know has not been investigated? Oh wait. Hello.
Yes, Dave. How's it going?
Yeah. How's the FBI coming after you, by the way, lately, Chesh? Are they still bugging you?
You know, they swing by. We actually kind of made friends, and so they swing by. We actually play D&D together now.
Nice.
So we get together. Actually, like that's one of the reasons why I've been like a little bit away this week.
That's playing
from the internet. Yeah, I've got a couple of the FBI guys who swing by. They're part of like the contingent that works with the Canadian Mounties, and so I got like 2 FBI agents and 3 Mounties that are swinging by now. It's the D&D party,
Nice.
And they're having a great time. One of them's
Sounds like
playing probably funniest things I've ever seen, and it's weighted stuff, right? So turns out sometimes when you transform, you maintain your weight if you're playing a 4th edition Henyokai, and this guy already had a character, so we brought his character over to the 5th edition, and I just let him maintain being a Henyokai and keep his like attributes. So he still had to change for 5th edition, but we just adjusted it, right? And so the thing with Henyokais is they can transform either to a small version animal or a larger version animal of whatever animal they chose. Well, this guy chooses a cat. And so he's running around as this kitten all the time. And then I looked closer at the book, and the kitten maintains weight. So there's like a 130-pound kitten wandering around, jumping into people's laps. And it's just a big oof.
Let me ask somebody. Let me ask the audience real quick. And yeah, Goddess Scummer, I did get that just now. Let me tell you something about Uni. He lies.
Okay.
Yeah.
My mom said that she's been making the Mounties apple crisps.
Nice. I like apple crisp. So I'm kind of curious. Yeah. So again, if Kyle's goal was to stretch things out, then sure, he won. But again, in the end, he's already lost. I mean, he's been in jail. He has multiple things that he's looking at, at least possibilities of being arrested for. He has 2 criminal contempt charges in civil. That's a win. Okay, whatever. Cajun castration.
It's a poor excuse for a win if that's what you're gonna call it.
Yeah, but again, Uni did say that he would stand by Kyle no matter what. You know, that's his boy. I think he might be in love with him. I think it's weird. It's weird that he will defend Kyle to the ends of the earth, knowing that Kyle has done all these illegal things, knowing that he's looking at criminal contempt charges, that he is looking at domestic violence charges, and yet Unirock, he's a domestic violence what do they call it? Apologist. I don't know how else you would put it.
Oh, yeah.
He's a I guess it would be a DVA, domestic violence apologist. Cajun crustacean, $2. Do the Mounties play as cavaliers or as centaurs?
So, usually I just let people play whatever they want. So if they want to play a cavalier, go for it. Yeah, if you want to be a centaur, also go for it. I'm a little bit tentative about adding monster races a lot of the time when I'm DMing, only because it can get weird really fast or broken really fast. But if the player is willing to work with me on it, I had a player once do a really, really good job playing a vampire in a horror game. So they were playing a zombie apocalypse D&D, and one of them wanted to be a vampire, and I was like, okay, but we got to rewrite some of the rules for vampires, because the rules for vampires in D&D are weird. So we rewrote some of the rules, got it figured out what he could and couldn't do, because we were like, if you have to avoid sunlight in its entirety, it's going to be very difficult. So we finagled some stuff, but he did a very good job of actually going out of his way to hide the fact that he was a vampire from the other party members. And then somebody else decided they wanted to try and play a vampire, and they were running around in the dark being like, hey guys, I'm like, so you see your party member in complete darkness running towards you as if they can see perfectly naturally in this complete darkness. Weird, I know.
My Infinite Journey for $5 says K staying out of jail equals more fish food for Kyle's goldfish. Yeah.
Can a centaur be a cavalier on another centaur? Those are the real questions.
Let's see here. So I want to ask, but I do want to ask the audience, how many of you actually thought, and be honest here, I'm not going to judge you much. How many of you actually thought that when I was in Boston and the FBI building was across from the hotel I was at, And when I went to go just take a photo at the stone, the where it says FBI building, whatever, never went inside the building, never talked to anybody. How many of you guys actually thought I was there to talk to somebody?
I thought you might go in to talk to the receptionist, just for some funsies.
I considered it, but I was like, they're like, who the fuck wants to get involved in this shit? Yeah, I don't want to waste their time. It would have been kind of cool.
I thought you might have just to ask some general questions about like how the FBI works or something like that.
Now that I think about it, kind of would have been kind of cool. I thought about going, right? What I thought about doing was letting them know that I at least want to take some photos there, because I know that a lot of the First Amendment auditors will go videotape these buildings, right? And I didn't want them to think that that's what we were doing, so I was going to let them know, hey, look, I'm just taking pictures out here. But then I was like, I don't care. So, but I want to know how many people actually believe that, because some people actually did, and I'm not saying that they were stupid for doing so. But after I told people that was just I was just messing with people, there are still people that thought I actually did. Those people are stupid. Those people are then at that point stupid.
Somebody asked a question about D&D, and
somebody said I thought they were there to dox Chesh. Maybe. I got in good with her mom. Her mom will tell me things that Chesh doesn't even know about. But go ahead.
That I don't know about? No.
Well, I'm saying she could. I'm not saying she has. I'm saying she could.
So there's not a like cavalier in D&D as a class anymore, but there is like obviously there's rules for mounted combat, and there are feats for it rather than like a class itself in the standard handbook. I'm just looking for the where are feats? What page where are you? These are saving throws. Where's the feats, damn it? Some
Ink Boy said he only follows me on YouTube, so he didn't even know anything about that, which is cool. I mean, I think it's I get when people only follow people on one platform. I do understand that, but it seems like they miss out a lot when they don't know what's going on in the Twitter's verse, or Facebook.
So it's a feat. It's a feat called Mounted Combatant. You're a dangerous foe to face while mounted. While you are mounted and aren't incapacitated, you gain the following benefits. You have an advantage on melee attack rolls against unmounted creatures that are smaller than your mount. You can force an attacked target at your mount to target you instead. If your mount is subject to an effect that allows it to make a dexterity saving throw to take only half damage, it instead takes no damage if it succeeds on the saving throw, and only half damage if it fails. So basically anybody can be a mounted combatant. You don't need to be like a cavalier fighter to do it. And if I'm not mistaken, if I double check Xanathar's, it might have like a fighting class that's a little bit more mount dedicated. I'm just knocking books everywhere.
By the way, just remember, I could tell your mom a lot of things about you too, so it works both ways. I can get information about you from her, and she can get information about you.
She can find out the same shit by watching my channel. Like, it's I don't really hide things from people.
Christy Santiago wants to play a D&D sex cult character.
Yes, Cavalier Fighter, which is on page 30.
What would you recommend for Christy Santiago as a sex cult character for D&D?
Maybe a tabaxi? Like, you're asking about a race or a
I have
class?
no idea. It's her fantasy. I don't judge. I think she just wants to be. I think she wants to be in a sex cult campaign.
I mean, there's actually so play a drow.
A drow elf.
Play a drow. Play a female drow elf, and then work your way to becoming the matriarch of a drow family.
What did I tell you when I play a character who was going to be my kryptonite?
Drows?
Yeah.
But that's really a terrible decision.
Hey, look, you're supposed to have. Your character's supposed to have these kind of quirks, but yeah, my character was going to be just, I can't even talk when I'm around drow elf because they're just so awesome and so sexy. So that's true now, because Christy Santiago, she's a drow elf.
Right?
I lose my ability to speak around her.
Christy would be like the matron of a drow city's one of the major families, like Bonray, which is like a really well-known high-class drow matriarchal family in a city called Menzo Baranzan, which is in the Underdark, which is drow city, and she was like one of the favors of Lolth. Lolth is the drow god of evil drow god of spiders. Cavaliers. So there is a specific fighter class in Xanathars for Cavaliers. If you wanted to make something even more Cavalier focused, which is it's a fighter archetype, and it's just you excel at mounted combat. Usually born among the nobility and raised at court, a Cavalier is equally at home, leading a cavalry charge or exchanging repartee at a state dinner. Cavaliers also learn how to guard those in their charge from harm, often serving as protectors of their superiors and the weak, compelled to right wrongs or earn prestige. Many of these fighters leave their lives of comfort to embark on glorious adventure. You get proficiency bonus, you get born to saddle, which basically means at 3rd level, your mastery as a rider becomes apparent. You have advantage on saving throws made from falling off of your mount. If you fall off your mount and descend more than 10 feet, you can land on your feet and you are not incapacitated. And finally, mounting or dismounting a creature costs you only 5 movement rather than half your speed. And then you get Unwavering Mark, Wandering Maneuver, Hold the Line, Ferocious Charge, and Vigilant Defender as you level. So if you wanted to be a Cavalier, it's in Xanathars, it's on page 30, it's a fighter archetype, and there is a feat for it already in the player's handbook if you want to do it more.
Fae, somebody says Fae is a class now, so maybe she could be a Fae too.
Fae is a class?
Did you ever watch...
Oh, is that the new book?
Did you ever watch Lost Girl with Anna Silk? It's Canadian.
Nope.
You should watch it. It's Canadian. Don't you have an obligation to watch Canadian stuff?
I don't have cable.
I highly recommend the series Lost Girl if you have not watched it to anybody. I love Anna Silk. She's amazing. Brilliant actress in it. And but it's all about the Fae. And it's if you haven't seen Lost Girl, I highly recommend it. So Christy Santiago wants pointed elf ears permanently, but without any surgery or recovery time, without any pain. I would totally have pointy ears right now. Yeah, there you go. She'd make a good drow elf. Yeah. But see, the problem is how would she and I be in a party together if my weakness is being around, female drow elves? I couldn't fight.
One of the biggest parts of D&D is learning to overcome whatever problem your character has. Now, if she was in your party, do you not think if she was in danger, your character might be a little bit
that's when I get bonuses, probably. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, Christy Santiago's in danger. My character to the rescue. Dun dun dun.
How do you?
I'll save you. I'll save you.
So yeah, there's the Haragon, which are now like bunny people. If you want to be a bunny person, I didn't hear about are the Fae pixies, because I heard that they were introducing pixies. So you can play like a pixie or fairy, because there's already Fae classes. Like the elves are considered Fae origin.
Elves
and goblins and Eladrin, and there were a type of sea elf. I'm not called Sang. There's a type of sea elf. I can't remember. They might actually just be called sea elf. And then there was also the Shadarkai, and the Shadarkai are also they went from 4th edition when they were humans to 5th edition where they're elves now. So
yeah.
Those are all like Fae player races, so it's not. So yeah, Fae are basically pigs. Okay, so it's not like just you're a Fae. What the fuck does that mean?
So if we were in a party together, all the party members are going to end up being dead because I won't help any of them with my magic, but I'll save Christy Santiago. She'll always survive.
Well, I mean,
yes.
They might be alive. You're making me think.
Yeah, they'll be like so pissed at me because they might end up alive because helping her might help them. But I'm like, you're on your own, people.
Have you ever watched The 7 Deadly Sins on Netflix?
The movie?
Well, there is.
That was 7. That was 7. No.
Yeah, there's an anime called 7 Deadly Sins, and there's a character named Merlin and a character named Escanor. And Escanor absolutely loves Merlin and will do anything for Merlin. And Merlin's kind of whatever because she's reasons that are spoilers. But she's a mage, and she's an incredibly powerful mage. And Escanor is this spindly little weak dude, except when he has the power of the sun, where he just turns into this big buff dude. So he's the sin of pride, and she's the sin of gluttony. Gluttony. Yes, she's the sin of gluttony. And so the their compatibility is hilarious, and the way their relationship works is super funny, because he basically just runs around and is super simpy over her. She's like in a bath reading a book, and he's just like, let me get you this, let me rub your feet, let me do this. Yeah. And he's like this little spindly guy, and then combat starts, and she's like this, and this. She's doing her combat stuff, and he pops up. He's this big hulking monster of a man, and he's just like, the sun. No, Escanor is not the simp for the sun. The sun simps for Escanor. And he's just like got this big ass hammer, and he's just like, oh, I don't feel fear for you, or sadness for you, or hatred for you. How can I hate when I only feel pity? And he just like baseball bat swings this man across the planet. It's amazing.
Somebody says there's one guy on YouTuber who went to a massacre. Oh, I got echo. Is that on your end?
I don't know. It shouldn't be. I got headphones on.
That's weird. Where am I getting echo from? You guys hear that? No, it's gone now. They said into a massacre, then killed himself just to be with one of the characters from the 7 Deadly Sins. It's dangerous. Okay. That's weird.
Yo, what the fuck?
I don't know. YouTubers are a different breed, man. I don't know.
Well, there's that, and then there's like anime weebs that are like way out. Some weebs are cool. Some people who are into anime are cool and fun, and there's like a lot of deep psychological analysis you can do for a lot of anime, things like Psychopaths, and even the 7 Deadly Sins has a lot of philosophy in it. But I mean, I'm not going to call the show dangerous because there was supposedly some fan who wanted to be with his waifu.
Yeah.
Seven Deadly Sins isn't even an isekai, which is when somebody died in their real life and they were reborn in another world, and like, so that's not even part of 7 Deadly Sins at all. Yeah, it's not. It's an axe, correct? It's not a hammer. He treats it like it's a hammer. Somebody did ask if I was been trying to get my mom into D&D. Yes, and it's succeeded.
Oh, nice. She plays?
Sometimes. We haven't done it in a long time because there's just been stuff going on and we haven't been able to do it. And D&D was difficult during COVID.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of want to play, but I mean, I'm going to be limited in my time. People know that I am going back to work.
We're all limited in our time.
And I'm going to have to, I still want to be streaming. We're still doing Judgment Call, though I might have to change the time around a little bit. I still be doing philosophical things. I've still got stuff I want to do. I had a great discussion with Peter Riley today on Kent Hovind updates. We're still going to be doing that. So still going to be doing everything I do online. It's just that I have to work around my work schedule now. But I mean, we got 3.5 more weeks before we find out if Kyle is going to finally do the right thing or not. And after 2 years, I don't care any longer. I've lost any hope that Kyle's going to do the right thing. I mean, I care. Don't get me wrong. I care about the channel. I care about the Non-Sequitur Show fans. It's not that. I have no longer in me to waste any more emotion on what Kyle does. That's all he's ever wanted.
Well, it's up to the court now. There's nothing you can do at this point. You can update people when updates come, but at the same time, I was like, you can't talk about every single thing. Inkboy says, sorry, but isekai is a person going to another world and no death necessary. Correct. That's the general example. It's usually they get hit by a truck or something, they die, and then they get reborn. But it does not have to be the case that the people die. That's not necessary. That's not necessary to be transported to another world. Isekai is, the translation is, in another world.
Did you ever actually read the last 3 things from the court on your channel?
No, not yet. Okay. I was kind of just waiting for the hearing.
Yeah, well, now you have to wait another 3.5 weeks. So. Yeah. We'll probably see a resolution between Katie and I before Kyle and I at this point. I
mean, at least Katie's supposedly got a lawyer.
Oh, she has a lawyer. She has an unwinnable case, but she has a lawyer. I am so not even worried about that. It's time constraining. That's it. It's just I want things now. I'm tired of I'm not going to go through what I did with Kyle. I want things in the court system now. I want to file now, but I can't. It sucks. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's just a matter of like the justice and the court system sucks, and the legalese is time consuming and financially consuming and emotionally consuming. All of the
It is.
I keep saying this because I feel like people keep forgetting. You are the victim of Kyle, and you're continuously having to go through what was done to you because it's not resolved.
Yeah, I mean,
Right?
living this stuff all the time. I am the victim of Kyle. I'm the victim of Katie as well. That's why I'm going to court. Everything on the internet, people have taken advantage of my niceties. People have lied about me. People have spread false information about me. And I'm fighting back through the legal system. And granted, the legal system is letting me down. I'm not going to say otherwise. But hopefully, it eventually all come to fruition. But there's nothing I can do because it's all out of my hands. I've done all I can that I can do on my end. The court system has to do what they have to do.
Yeah, it's at that point, right? And I am kind of thinking that maybe the court is being as lenient as it is because it wants to resolve your issue. Because they can go if they want Kyle in jail or they want to go after Kyle criminally, they do that without you, and then you
has
can
nothing to do with me.
Resolved, and then you don't have to keep going through the same thing over and over and over again. They can be like, "Hey, listen, you're good, you're taken care of, cool. Now we can turn our attention to focusing on him without your involvement." So, and maybe it is the court's way of actually doing what it's supposed to be doing and protecting you and your assets.
Free to play says, "Learn not to be nice." Oh, I can tell you right now, I'm going for a lot. I'm putting it all on the line for this next lawsuit. I'm not going to be as nice as I was with Kyle, offering him the world. And I'm not going to do that. It's not going to happen again. So yeah, I'm so nice, but I'm not going to be nice in a way where I'm going to give anybody the benefit of the doubt. They're going to have to work for it. I've learned that even though I will go out of the way to give people the benefit of the doubt and help them out, I'm just going to assume from here on out that they're not going to take my advice. And it's a shitty way to live, and I don't like to have to be that way. But I'm just thinking the worst case scenario from here on out.
Steve is starting to get close to where I live.
Yeah.
You need to not come to where I live, Steve. It's not a good place. You want to be here.
Well, I mean, I don't want to go full Chesh, I know this. I know where you're at, and it's just like that's a little bit much for me. It wouldn't work for me but I mean, I have gotten a little more closed off.
It doesn't work for anybody. Nobody should ever be like me ever. I am a horrible example as a human being. Don't ever be like me. If you can avoid being like me, don't be like me.
People have like no niceties at all. Well, like I said, I am investing a lot of money in my lawsuit, a lot of my own that I have saved up over the pandemic because again, people know I'm frugal, and I'm also have credit extended to me. I have a very, very good credit rating, by the way. And I have credit extended to me, but it's still probably not going to be sufficient enough for a full trial, at least in any near few months. I have to wait. I have 9 months to wait, then I could file, but I don't want to wait that long. I want it now. I want it exposed. I want it public. And so, I will do it. I want it over with. Yeah. I mean, I want vindication. I know that I've done nothing wrong. I know that everything that has been accused of me is false. I can prove it in a court of law that there's no evidence against me. And I can also prove that I have exculpatory evidence for the accusations made against me were wrong. They were outright lies. I can prove this in a court of law. I want my day in court. Okay. So, I just want justice. People have known for a long time these people have been lying about me. And the only way I'm going to get it resolved is through a court of law saying, yeah, this Steve's right. And I know I have the evidence to do it. And I want that in front of a judge or a jury. And by the way, I have not released all my evidence. There's reasons for this. So if you think you've seen everything, you haven't. I have actual evidence that exonerates me beyond imagination. But I've never made it public.
What are people wanting you to be like Katie and just going on Twitter and explaining what your entire argument is, and then just having screenshots that don't say what you say? What I was reading through her Twitter that one day.
Her lawyer will know. We're going to have discovery soon. Her lawyer will know what I have, and at that point, I think it's kind of game over. But until that, he doesn't even know what we have, but he will, and it'll show him that his client has not been forthright with him. In my opinion, his client has not been forthright with him because there is no evidence for the allegations that she has made. None. Because it just never happened. There's multiple different things she is accused that I can show did not happen the way she accused, or she's alleging. And I have to bring that to people's attention for my fundraiser next week, because I want people to help, if they can, support me in this particular endeavor, in this particular lawsuit. Killer85295 Australian says, be like Chesh, and Chesh is the best find of the truth and the light through Chesh. Great. She can be a cult leader. That's fine. I don't mind that.
I would be a very cheap cult leader, to be fair.
None of us are very good at it. Yeah, we suck at it.
Yeah, we not only do we suck at this, but we also like suck at building a following that just does or listens to whatever we say, no matter how or what we say and how we do it. Like, guys, listen, I need you all to go sub to my channel, and I need you all to become members, because there's like, it's like $2 to become a member or whatever, and then they take their cut. So if everybody can just become a $5 member, and then I can, just live scot-free the rest of my life surviving off of that, that'd be great.
I just wanted to pay for my legal costs, or help pay for it, because I want justice. And live off lawsuits next after Katie Unirock. That's not off the table for you to play. I will tell you right now, going after Unirock is not off the table. My lawyer is very aware of certain things. I've asked as one of the conditions for my legal case for that it will involve Unirock. Just throwing that out there. So yeah, I really do want this to come to fruition. Without
links to my PayPal.
Yeah, I don't promote myself that much. I wish I did. I wish I promoted my PayPal as much, and I don't. I like the only person that uses my PayPal is TomTom. TomTom34.
Steve, you need to get way too distracted. You get way too distracted trying to talk about the topic that you're interested in, and you're so focused on being involved in the conversation that you're having that you forget to be like, yo, sub to me, yo, super chats, yo, give me a sticker.
I know that. I'm horrible at self-promotion. I've already said that. College Goldfish
I suck at it too.
Without exposing anyone, do you know how many people are involved in the Chris Lee KG lawsuit now? For the civil action, which is completely different from my action, I have heard 12 people. I have asked for the list of names from the lawyers, but they have not gotten back to me yet. But they want me to review them. I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 for sure that I'm pretty well confident on, but I don't know the other 6.
I feel like the amount that I've been involved with different lawsuits and getting information and gathering information and moving information, because I haven't really been involved as a party, but I've certainly been asked for this or that, or finding this or finding that. I almost feel like I should just be having a job as a legal aid at this point.
I would love that. Yeah, I mean, I wanted to go work for the court system, but I'm happy just to doing something new as a new job. I'm looking forward to it a lot. But I mean, I can still get a secondary job too if I need to as well. I want to fund this system. I mean, I want to fund this lawsuit. It's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars by the time it's all done. I'm not pulling any punches. It's already cost tens of thousands. I mean, it's almost $10,000 so far, and we haven't even filed in court yet. So it's a lot of money.
After all of their whining and complaining.
But think about it this way: I would not have initiated this lawsuit if I didn't think I was going to get something back from it, right? And like Kyle, there's money to be had there. And I think that when there's punitive damages, it'll be in my favor.
There's still money to be had with Kyle too. It's just he's trying to prevent it and do as much damage as possible. Not that it's necessarily even comes directly from Kyle. It comes from the business.
Well, he has to go to work sometime. I mean, he has to work sometime. But the Nevermore Tavern became a new hole. He says, thank you. Steve is the man. Love you, buddy. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it.
No, he's been a new hole for 12 months.
Oh, new hole for 12 months. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I thought so. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. You're a member and you do super chat.
Yeah, when you're a member, you can do chats at points.
Yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for here?
1 year, 1 month.
Yeah, at certain times it'll give you access to be able to send a message, which I think is really cool.
I appreciate it, Jay, very much. If you haven't checked out, Jay's on Christopher Atlee's channel all the time. Go check it out. They're hereticals. Great guys over there. Res Instance for 100 Australian. Thank you, Res. Cult mandated funding. Thank you, Res. You know what? It's funny is I was thinking the other day, man, if I was a cult leader, I would I'd be kind of cool in some ways, but we all know that's BS.
I don't think you'd be happy with it. You'd have
I
too many
probably
people
wouldn't.
that agreed with you all the time, and you'd be like, "Tell me I'm wrong, damn it."
Yeah, and it's somebody was saying like the other day, it was like, oh well, you disagree with Steve's gonna get mad. I'm like, my whole channel is people disagreeing with me. I have a channel because people disagree with me.
Somebody said that about me. They were like,
Really?
"You just agree with Chess just agrees with everything Steve says."
Oh,
I'm
God.
like, "Have you watched it?" It was Gary. I was like, "Gary, have you ever watched a single video?"
No, I can tell you right now, not just publicly but privately, Chester and I don't agree on a lot of things, but we're very civil about it. We respect each other's position, and we just talk about it and go, okay, yeah, cool. There's no fighting, there's no argument about it. It's just we have a very different perspective on things. First of all, she's Canadian. What do you expect? You know,
there has been times where Steve and I have argued and like gotten into like, I don't know, fights. Fight might be a little bit of a strong word for it, but we've definitely pissed each other off before.
Yeah. But you know what adults do? They get over it and they discuss over it. She's my friend. Cheshire will always be my friend till the day I die, barring she doesn't become like a Nick Suter or something. But
barring I don't die first.
Yeah. Well, you're a Canadian. Your social medicine is worse than ours.
Well, supposedly, like, Menace to Sobriety lives like 3 doors down from me, and I'm like, dude, if you're gonna come in and end me, just can you come and end my suffering?
Look,
you set a date. Please.
That guy is straight up dangerous. I don't put anything past him. I mean, he's an ex-drug dealer.
I know. That's why
sold drugs to kids. Thinks that we're all in a cult. Thinks I'm something that I'm completely not. And dude is so emotionally invested in my social life is weird. So yeah, listen, I don't put anything past him.
All I was saying, I was just like, listen, I'll just leave the dog here and I'll ask my roommates upstairs to look after him and be like, hey, listen, I gotta go meet this crazy guy on the internet at the park at midnight. Don't worry about it. I'll see you in a little bit. Then the dog is taken care of and Menace can get out his baby rage and stab me or something. I don't care.
Like I said, I'm not even being hyperbolic. I think that guy is capable of doing some serious
That's why I said it. I'm not saying that. I'm not kidding. I'm like, if he wants to do it, just let me know so we can get this out. I'm just tired.
It's so funny. All these people have.
If you're gonna kill me, do it already.
You know, you have people that are like. Notice a lot of these people are convicted drug dealers, felons, users, or whatever. I don't have anything like that, but I'm the bad guy according to them. Okay, Inkboy, 10 euros. Have some income for the upcoming court expenses. Also, this is legally and ethically allowing to use for all funds that I donate. The expense of Steve deems appropriate. I thank you for that, Boy. By the way, yes, I have to live. You know, I need food, by the way, and I have to pay for cable and some other things. But the vast majority of every dime that I'm making is going to go straight to the lawsuit. But anything else is going to be used for myself. You know,
I was debating on putting in a joke thing, which is like one of those bars that's like, here's the Chesh Wine Fund, and it was just like it would only need to get to $20, but I'm like, but I might need to spend that $20 on something else, so I don't know if I want to commit $20 a month to wine.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't even bought any thing. Well, I bought some beer the other day, but I mean like one thing. But I haven't even, my whiskey has been the same bottle I've had for like a year now. My brandy has been the same bottle I had for a year now. I just very rarely even touch the stuff.
I haven't had brandy in a while. I was actually debating on finding beer recently, but I just ended up deciding not to. Yeah. And I was gonna go grocery shopping today, but it's like crummy and raining out, and I'm like, I
just like brandy for the taste and coffee. Like literally just a cupful. Yeah, I like the flavor, so it does not even have to even notice any kind of change in you know, it's like not going to raise your blood. I mean, alcohol content is a capful. It's even if that, usually a half a capful. But Mr. Sirius says, Menace says he's not officially part of the cult. Oh, he's out. I'm sorry, Sirius. You're part of Cheshire's cult, can't you? Cheshire, let him be in your cult. Come on. I like Mr. Sirius. He's a great guy. Why you got to
the Cheshire cult?
Yeah, the Cheshire cult.
The Goblin Brigade. The Smoglins are back.
The Smoglins are back. You and Mr. Sirius, the Smog Army. Yes.
Oh my God, the Smoglins. I don't know. I guess I could like work towards doing a anti-cult cult, but I don't know. That sounds like work.
CJ says, "What's wrong with felons? Nothing. And if they deserve a second chance, I give them to them. But you got to. But my point is that these people that have convicted felons.
No. You're not allowed to even talk to anybody with a felony, because if you do, you're an apologist for whatever they've been in jail for. Didn't you know?
Yeah. Although I knew Kyle had a felony, you know, when I met him, too, I think. But here's the thing: these people don't want to be rehabilitated. They don't want to be normal in society. These are actively people that have gone out to harm people. Menace to sobriety is a menace to society. I mean, he is a harmful person. He goes out to try to look to harm people, period. He's gang stalks people. He attacks them verbally if you don't agree with them. I mean, their projection is unreal. You don't agree with me. I want to know why. We can have a discussion. You disagree with those guys. They will literally haunt you and go after you in real life. They will attack you on Facebook. They'll attack you on Twitter. They'll call your employers. They'll do all kinds of nasty stuff. These are not good people. And so it's weird that they have a background and history with the records. They're felons. They don't seem to have learned anything. Kyle didn't learn anything from being a felon. He went back to jail for assault. He didn't learn anything from being a felon. He's going to look at criminal contempt charges.
You're talking about the difference in behaviors, right? You're talking about people who are felons who are continuing to be awful, that not trying to do anything like appropriate.
Right.
And
that's the difference.
They're acting as if they have some kind of moral authority to try and attack and harm other people. Right.
Yeah, my Mr. Serious Sex Cult solely of Steve and his harem. I wish I want a harem. I can have a harem.
If you have a $20 wine fund and spend it on something else, and the uni crowd will hound you until the day you die.
Yeah.
I should do it. I should do it. I'm just gonna be like, here's my wine fund thing. There's like a little disclaimer written underneath in really tiny lettering that says may not be spent on wine.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, we all have to have expenses and stuff like that. But the vast majority of my funding is going to be for legal. And when I do my crowdsourcing, I'm going to put that as a very clear thing. And there could be no possible, way these idiots are going to be like, oh, Steve's having a legal fundraiser. Go fuck yourself. There's nothing illegal about it. You could have a fundraiser for court. You just can't do it for defense, for criminal. There's no criminal proceedings here. And I have a very strong case. Oh
yeah, there was somebody that was that stupid that said GoFundMe can't be used.
I know, I've seen it out there. It's like, that's not what it says.
And like on the first page, it's like, yeah, use it. You have legal expenses. Right. Yeah, you can use this.
Right, exactly.
Here's where you can't.
Yeah,
it's like part of their advertising. It's a weird.
You can't use it if you're charged with a crime, but if you want to sue somebody, absolutely you can crowdfund. Absolutely you can. And like I said, I'm not expecting a huge amount. I know a lot of people have offered to donate, and I've been procrastinating as long as possible. But I've had a lot of people tell me, crowdfund and we'll support you on it. But my issue is I feel weird having a crowdfund not being able to put out the complaints yet, right? I wanted to kind of file it in court first, so everybody has an idea of what I'm suing for and what the countersuit is, so they know I have a strong case, and then they're more happy to provide, help for it, right? I mean, that's just how I will look at it. I would like to know what is being contested here. So I feel weird about that, doing a fundraiser before I file in court. But I mean, I have no other choice, it seems. But whatever. But it just feels weird to me. Maybe that's me.
Sometimes you just need to be. You have to trust the people that are wanting to support you and let them do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to just let people help you. It's not an easy thing to do, especially when you don't necessarily feel like you need that much help. And you're like, oh, well, it's not at fruition yet. I don't really want yada, yada, yada. Sometimes you try and things don't work. It doesn't mean you squandered their support, right? And so sometimes if things don't go exactly the way you want, it doesn't mean that you squandered their support either. It just means that things sometimes in real life just work out a little bit differently, and it doesn't, there's no ill intent. There's no lies behind anything. It's just a matter of life sucks sometimes, and you should let people help you when which makes me think I should probably listen to my own advice sometimes, because I'm an asshole and I'll say these things and then completely ignore it.
I
never apply it to myself.
My lawyers have said I could give the general overview basically of what the cases are about. Just nothing. I can't go into the deep diving. I'm not going to show my evidence, obviously, right? Because that would be foolish. I think once we have discovery, it's going to be a done deal after that, because it's just. But
the people that are also I'm going to make a little bit of a general assumption just for the sake of discussion. I know this isn't everybody, but some of the people that are going to want to and are saying they want to support you are wanting to support you because they believe, without having to see most of whatever evidence that you've kept private, because of what they've seen publicly and what already exists publicly. Then they think that that's good enough, and then they've made that assessment.
But I totally
it's
understand.
not like these people aren't going in blind.
Yeah, I totally understand the people that want to wait till they see the documents. I completely get that. I really honestly do, and I want them to see it. I'm just not allowed to show them. It's just there's no legal consequence. It's just that it's not a good tactic. It's not. I'm here to win. I'm not here to unfortunately placate to masses out there.
A lot of these people have been following a lot of the KJ stuff, so they've seen lawsuits before, so they already know how they know the song and dance.
Yeah.
They know that you can't give out everything, so it's not like they're making it. Well, why aren't you doing it?
Right.
Well, because no, duh.
Well, they will. No, I'm sure there will also be some trolls that will probably do that. Well, look at Steve; he's not providing any details. Well, yeah, because I'm not an idiot. I have a strong case. Why would I piss that away? I'm not going to put out my evidence that I have prior to discovery. It's just not going to happen. Once discovery hits, I think it's almost a done deal because I'm that confident in it. But I don't want it to stop at discovery. I want it to go to trial. And even if it doesn't, one of the conditions I have said to my attorney, and I'll say it to you all, I'm not having anything in private. Everything will be public. Everything's going to be out in the open. There's going to be no settlement in any way, shape, or form where it's confidential. None. I will not allow that. And that tells you how strong my case is. So if they donate to the GoFundMe when I start it next week and everything like that, they can hold that against me, saying, "Steve, you promised it would be public," and I have to abide by that. Yes.
One of these days, Steve is actually gonna bluff and win because
I will wait for that perfect time.
Bluffs.
I can't.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, though. I don't understand. You don't need to see. I'm. Okay.
I can't bluff here because I literally have I have to put it out at some point. I can't bluff. So
right, but you wouldn't want to bluff anyway. There's no need for you to bluff, right? Like this is the same reason why I died laughing one time when Nick Suter was giving somebody advice about me, and I can't remember where or who he was talking to. This is a while ago, and I can't even remember. I'm pretty sure he already hated me then, but it doesn't matter. And he had said, the problem is that people underestimate Chesh. And you can't. And I'm like, but you're doing that.
He didn't take his own advice on that one. But yeah, I mean, and
it's just like
if I bluff, it's going to be at the most opportune time, I assume. But I don't. I just tell people I don't because I don't.
If Kyle and Katie were smart, they would listen to you and actually have a realistic understanding of the kind of person you are. Because they would then know that Steve's not bluffing. So KJ being like, "Oh, you don't have anything. Here's the evidence that I have." Blah 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 blah. Is like. But if you knew anything about Steve, you would know that when he says he has something, there's no reason for him to lie about having something.
This is true, but here's the thing: her lawyer has to recognize that, not her. Her opinion doesn't matter. Her lawyer knows or will know that I have beyond exculpatory evidence and beyond evidence that what was said about me was untrue. And so he has to advise his client appropriately. Now Todd says, can they find Steve's evidence and discovery during the trial? Am I right? No, it won't even be. It's discoveries before the trial. We're doing everything. We're doing everything according to Minnesota law, and so they're obligated to try to negotiate and talk prior to actually putting it into the court record. But I want it in the court record. I want it as soon as possible to be filed.
And you didn't want to have to fight for jurisdiction because
I've already and here's the other thing, because I acquiesced to jurisdiction being in that state, I'm going to have to fly to there for the jury and all that. I have to literally go to Minnesota at some point. That when my GoFundMe and all that is going to be supporting that as well. Because I didn't want to argue jurisdiction. I'm not going to have like a toddy thing where they argue jurisdiction. They've already capitulated on jurisdiction. That's not even an argument. Jilly, $2.
Steve, we need to...
One quick.
Sorry, you read that and then I'll say. Go.
All right, Jilly, $20. Late but last I seen Uni says you're sexual harassment and cult. You're both, and Aaron seemed all I seemed, but I'm just getting back on. I can't. His KJ and him breathing hard, begging on Twitter clip. LOL. Sexually harassed him and Aaron played clip. Oh my God, got to get caught up on this. I think what Jilly's saying is that Uni accused me of sexually harassing Uni. Yeah, that just think about that. Just wrap your head around that for a second.
I refuse.
No, I'm forcing you to think about this. This is something that must be thought about. Every cult member out there, every subscriber, every Patreon must, for at least a half a second to a second, think about Uni accusing me of sexually harassing him.
It reminds me of the time when Katie said that Steve harassed Unirage. And Unirage was like,
no, he didn't. Yeah, and she was just like, no, that never happened. Yeah, I mean, they throw these terms out there with such indignation and such, disrespect for the fact that people are sexually harassed, and they throw these things out.
Confidently incorrect.
It's bizarre. And why am I getting echo again?
I want to, I think we should do a challenge for our next stream, either between me and you, or you do it on your next stream and I'll do it on my next stream whenever I schedule that shit. And it will be, we have to try and talk about donations and people sending us money as much as Uni does. Just one time. We got to try it and see if we can keep up.
I don't have an issue with that. I need to obviously put on a lot of more product.
It's practice for us to be better. We've had to deal with Uni's dumb shit. We may as well actually try and learn something from him, which is reminding people that you can like and subscribe and PayPal me, bro.
Yeah, I get PayPal messages right off the bat. So if people want to PayPal, it's in the video description. I get those messages just as much as the super chats.
No, you gotta pin that shit in the fucking. You gotta get mods spamming that shit in the side chat, dude.
I'm gonna pin.
See, it works.
I'm gonna pin.
Just one time, we gotta try just to say, is there something we can learn from Uni? Can we learn to promote our finances?
Inkboy says I was laughing for 10 seconds. Yeah, no, Inkboy, I'm not even fronting on this, am I? This is the straight up facts. He literally accused me of sexually harassing him, and I'm like, holy crap! When you have watered down that phrase to be so unbelievably meaningless. I mean, he doesn't care what these terms actually are used for. He doesn't care that in human resources there are a term for sexual harassment. It does happen. There are victims of sexual harassment. He doesn't care about any of those victims. He doesn't even know what doxed means. He uses that word completely inappropriately.
But listen, are we seriously going to make a list of words that him and his crew don't understand? Because that's going to be a pretty goddamn long list.
That's going to be a whole blog.
These are people who don't know the difference between and because.
Yeah, they don't understand.
That happened.
Yeah,
I wish I remember what that was about. That was hilarious. Hashtag Reddit community.
I think. Well, you know what? I think logically, the term "because" does import into and, if I'm not mistaken. I have to look into that, but I think if you're doing first order logic, and you're doing Boolean logic, and you see and, because in a sentence and you're trying to convert it, I think it does convert into and. But I somebody who knows logic better. But
not in logic. This was in a sentence.
Yeah.
Like they were saying somebody said this, and it was just like, but they used the word because. But if they said and, they didn't say and.
Yeah. Manya says, my tithing for this month. Thank you, Manya. 20 New Zealand. Kawasa, 10,001. Be careful, Steve. You may be victim blaming. Snort. Yeah, I'm victim blaming Uni. There you go. Hey, look.
My mom said even I know what dox means.
If you're let's put it this way, if you were that dumb to think that I sexually harassed Unirock, please don't come around my channel, because you're just not the content. You're just not somebody I want to have around. I mean, that's I have no words to describe how gullible you must be to believe anything that man says, because everything he says is wrong, and he does it for the lulz. He's a lulz cow. I mean, he basically just does it to rile people up, which I get. We all understand that. We know what Unirock's done. We have his number. Just like watching Kyle log into his bank accounts in front of the judge, that he talked to the judge. All these were LARPs. What I'm more scared of is the people that actually believe Uni. Those people I cannot have around. Those people legit I am afraid of, because if they're that dumb to believe something that Unirock says, how could I not, in my mind, believe that they're capable of whatever? I don't know what they might be capable of. And that to me is dangerous. So
82 says Steve only sexually harasses Res Rhetoric and myself.
That's true. Yeah. 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 Well, mostly Reds.
So I'm debating on doing something because I haven't done something like this in a long time. For those of you who you get, I don't know if much of, I don't know. I've talked about this a couple times. I used to stream on Twitch, and when I streamed on Twitch, I was streaming for like 5 to 8 hours a day, starting at like 10 o'clock in the morning. And I would stream doing art. And it was, I think I had like 2 or 3 days off. I think I gave myself a 3-day weekend. So I'm debating on attempting to do that on YouTube. So it'll be like super chill. It's not going to be a whole ton of talking. It'll be like, hey, you're at work. You work in an office. You throw me on in the background, and you can kind of see art just get created as it goes. There'll be some chill music playing in the background, stuff like that. But I'm thinking about doing a challenge. And the challenge is 100 days and 1 Pokemon a day. So we're going to start like Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise, and we'll just go through, we'll do 1 picture, 1 painting, 1 drawing of Pokemon every day for 100 days. But I'm thinking about like adding in, like giving myself at least like a day off.
No days off. No days off. Yeah, I'm going to be doing stuff every day, so I get I'm going to take Sundays off. I think Sundays, or no, Tuesdays. I never stream on Tuesdays because you stream on Tuesdays, and so we just kind of worked out where I haven't
streamed on Tuesdays in a while.
Yeah, well, but I haven't. I try to avoid Tuesdays, and then maybe Sundays or Saturday. You know, one day, either Saturday or Sunday, I'll take off. But other than that, I'm going to be. Obviously, I'm going to be working. I got streams to do. One thing, real quick. Rez says, yeah. To be fair, you were very slow in figuring out what uni is. I had to tell you, and you still had them on. But here's the thing, Rez. I give people the benefit of the doubt, right? But I do listen to people. People don't think I listen to them. I really do. If I hadn't listened to you and other people, I probably wouldn't have recognized Uni's behavior as quickly as I did. I mean, I would have. I mean, because it was blatant. I mean,
that's what he means. That's what he's saying, though. He's like, you're a little slow on the pickup sometimes.
But it's only,
you've gotten better.
But here's the thing. I'm only slow because I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt as much as possible.
You're trying the best.
Yeah, and so when they do cross that line, it is unequivocal, right? I don't feel like I've read somebody wrong. I don't feel I have been doing them a disservice. When Uni crossed the line, it was obvious. When Uni literally had gone out of his way to be a shitlord and lie to people for views, and Manya and I had told him, we don't do this. We're not going to lie to people for views. We never have. We never will. If you find us lying, then don't subscribe. Call us out on it. Do whatever. But so far, everybody who said, oh, Chess Sheev, Manya, AT2, Mr. Serious, all a bunch of liars, none of them have provided any evidence of this. It's all their misunderstandings of basic English language that has been pointed out to them.
I saw Helios, what is that, today, saying that they were looking through somebody's response to my malicious, Laura's response to my malicious compliance video, because the video was about her being like, oh, when did I lie? And I was like, all right, roll up the sleeves. Okay. And so I guess she did a 3-hour response. And Helios is like, I am like 23 minutes into this 3 hours, and like you've already like completely undermined yourself so much that why would I even bother watching the rest of it? Mm-hmm. And she says, oh, which video, mine or Chesh's? And he's like, oh gee, I don't know, the 3, which one could I possibly be 23 minutes into, the 3-hour video or the 15-minute video? It's like, how are you 20 minutes into the 15-minute video?
Let me ask people, do you guys agree with me that, and I'm being very serious here, do you agree that these people that Mr. Serious and the rest of you all talk to on Twitter, which
28 minutes.
And by the way, I don't care, and I've said this a million times, I don't care who you talk to on Twitter. All I said is don't tag me with them. I'm allowed to not be tagged with them on Twitter. That's my choice, and people need to respect that.
You're asking people to not basically force engagement from people that are trying to abuse you on the internet.
I don't want to be in the same threads with my abusers. I don't. And so you could talk about them all you want. You could talk to them. I don't give a shit. Don't tag me. That's when I say I'm going to unfollow. I'm going to block even people that I care about, only because I don't want to see it in my timeline, and I don't want to be in the same threads with them, and I don't want me to self-tagged them. That's it. But if the people that do talk to these idiots on Twitter, let me ask you, do you think that 95% of it, or some vast majority of it, is probably because most of them have some kind of learning disability where they don't understand English very well, or they don't understand context, or they don't understand these very simple concepts? Because I've noticed this thing about all of them. People will say something and they'll read what they've said in a very bizarre light that is not even closely the intent of the author.
It's two things.
It's not just deliberate. I think it's. Go ahead. What do you think about that?
I think that there are some that are like sort of the arbiters of the group that don't have this issue and are 100% doing it on purpose and are taking advantage of people that struggle socially.
Mhm.
And so,
Yeah.
like, either it doesn't mean like they necessarily have some kind of like learning issue or like an issue. Like, it doesn't mean that they're on the spectrum, but what it means is that they might be very lonely. They might be people who don't feel like they belong. They might be people who struggle in real life to be understood. Because I've noticed a lot of them, when you do try to get along with them. I did this with Ethan, like fucking pro-lib. I had a couple long conversations online because he thought somebody said something they didn't. And there was like 5 or 6 of us that had to sit there and be like, step by step,
Right,
explain this, and this is why this is not what they meant, and the context. And he had to have every single bit of that conversation explained to him multiple times by multiple people. And so when you have a risk reward system with this kind of a group of people who know what's going on and are taking advantage of people who need this kind of that need this kind of babying, they need to be treated with this and that amount of investment of time. I'm not going to do it. We're not going to do it, but they are going to do it because they're invested. So they take advantage of that, but they also take advantage of people who are very, very, very emotionally led or very, very like easily offended, right? So I'm sure some of them do have issues, and I think some of them don't actually have necessarily issues, but have they have that need for, they're needy.
That is an issue though in and of itself.
Yeah, you're right, but I mean like a textbook, like you go to a psychologist to get whatever.
I think a lot of them do, maybe not all of them, but I think a lot of them do have psychological issues.
I think there's a handful. Yes. There's certainly a handful of them, yes. But not. Certainly not all of them.
Things they say are just bizarre, and the amount of obsessive.
And they're taking. I think there's a handful of them that are just taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
Remember, there is a risk involved, because if you go against the group, everybody's going to jump down your throat.
But what I'm kind of curious is, I'm not a public figure. People know this. I'm in public, but that doesn't make somebody a public figure. I have nothing that constitutes a public figure. I've already gone over it, and I don't qualify as a public figure, and nor do I want to be. But why is people so like recently concerned about my social life? It's weird. It's like, look, that's creepy. When you're involving yourself in other people's social life, that's not normal, people. This is like not normal behavior. And I'm sorry that for some reason you find my social life to be of interest, but it's not your business. It's weird. It is just creepy weird. Who I associate with, who I date, who I flirt with, who I am involved with or not involved with is none of your concern. It just isn't. But yet they seem so invested in my personal life, and I don't get it.
Remember when we talked about toxic?
How many YouTubers are there, though? I mean, people that are actual public figures. Sure, go talk about them, because they that's all about their social life. My social life is my social life. It's not theirs.
I think that there's. Remember when we talked about toxic fandoms, where people get so invested in something that they are a fan of, either in a positive light or a negative light.
Of course,
it's that. It's just toxic fandom.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, the ship is not going in the direction I want it to. Oh, I do everything you can to ship in another direction.
I think my toxic fandom is almost as much as my actual fandom at this point. I mean, it like sure seems that way. Well, no, as far as like, well, you know, a lot of them have stock accounts, so it's hard to actually gauge. But I mean, I have a significant following for a toxic fandom, clearly. But I've also got a significant following of people that
got, like
to listen to what we have to talk about.
I see what you're saying, like the balance there. I think there's also like a difference, and I think there are more people that like you than you might be aware of, because there's a lot of people that lurk. Hi, people who are lurking. And lurking, there's nothing wrong with lurking, by the way. I'm not telling you shouldn't be lurking. I love people that lurk. They're great.
A lot of lurkers that actually came about not lurking any longer. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a degree of dedication.
Yeah.
Right? And the people that don't like you have this obsessive dedication, because it's like a righteous indignation.
I don't think that's even the word any longer. That's not even strong enough to it's psychopathy. It is straight up psychopathy at this point. It's not just obsession. It's certainly
it's certainly got to the point of like it being like what a habit. Like, you know when a habit turns into something, like a compulsion. That's the word I was looking for. It's like a compulsion. Like it's one of those like, oh, I wake up every day and the first thing I check is Twitter. And it's like, but when it comes like, oh, the first thing I do is check Steve's Twitter.
Right. That's what they do every day.
The first thing I check is
Yep.
So
yeah, you're right. I think
now it becomes like you're not just addicted to social stuff. You're addicted to following Steve around to see what Steve does.
Because their brains have wired that way now. They
right, that's
literally
what I'm saying.
every day will do that.
It's a habit. It's a habit that has become a compulsion.
Yeah, exactly. Manya for 5 New Zealand says, people with unresolved issues, people who project onto others and hold strangers responsible for unresolved issues and their suffering.
With control issues also.
Yeah, and those people that project, Manya, the thing is, even when it's pointed out to them, look, what you're saying is, you're doing exactly what you're accusing other people of doing, and you have no evidence that they're doing it beyond your misunderstanding of the facts, because most of them don't have all the facts. Most of them don't even have a minuscule amount of the facts. There's a reason.
You can't the facts.
Well, I mean, they love to extrapolate and to think that they know things that they do not know, nor that they possibly know, and that for people like myself who do have a lot more insight because I'm involved in the little things, and I sit there and go, that person's absolutely wrong. And I'm not the only one that does this nowadays. There are a lot of people that have a lot of insight. I know for a fact that and Treat Feeling has a lot of insight. Jesse has a lot of insight. You have a lot of insight. We don't have to evaluate shit anymore because we know certain things that they say are just fundamentally wrong, factually, objectively wrong.
Yeah, it's this. Oh, incident does not happen in a bubble, right? So it's like, oh, well, I have to go approach Steve as if all of this bad stuff that he's done. But if I approach him and he brings up something I did before, well, he's wrong for doing that. It's like, well, wait a second. Does it happen in a bubble or does it not happen in a bubble?
Was that Gary? You can't the facts?
Which one? No, at least it wasn't his regular account. If it was, it was I think it was an account called DYE. Oh,
DYO, that guy. Oh, that guy's been around for a while. He's weird. That guy's just straight up. Yeah, I never talked to the guy. I don't know where he creeped out of, but he all of a sudden has this like weird obsessive thing with me as well. He's like goes around. I used to go on like videos.
Well, there are people that think he's a sock account.
Well, that's what I think makes sense. I think a lot of these accounts are sock accounts because that's the only thing that makes sense, because they're so unwilling to even understand the most simplest things that you have to have a bias to a degree that you are on a sock account pretending to be somebody you're not. Like if Kyle's never going to wait a second. If Kyle has a sock account, clearly no matter what you tell him, that person, that sock account, you're never going to get through to them because it's Kyle. And I think a lot of these people are the original, harassers and gang stalkers that are just on sock accounts. That's why you can't change your mind.
There was a comment that somebody left because I went over and looked at like the McCrazy's response, because some of them were leaving messages and comments after I did my video. And one of them was saying that we were all homophobic because AT2 did a hickory dickory dock rhyme about how fucked Kyle was. It was a cute rhyme. It was pretty funny. But somebody made a comment on my video about that and wrote their own little rhyme, nursery rhyme. Do you mind if I recite it here? Because I didn't get to recite it at the time. It was a comment after I did the video. Okay, so this was from Christopher, Canadian Atheist, and we've seen them around. So that's who left the comment. I was inspired to write a rhyme of my own. Share as you like. I may send it to Steve later. There once was a liar named Kyle who wouldn't show up for his trial. He tried to hide away but got picked up one day and can't have Burger King for a while.
Who wrote that?
Christopher Canadian.
Okay, I kind of vaguely. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Treat Feline says this one. This was Gary. Yeah. I don't think you what thinking is you don't. That's one of the greatest lines I've ever heard. I don't think you what thinking is you don't. And it's not like one or two things. You need to stop
saying that as if it's got commas in it, and it doesn't.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I threw in the commas there. I shouldn't. Okay, let me do it without commas. I don't think you what thinking is you don't. But that's how he speaks. I mean, this is why it's so interesting to me. He speaks the way he writes. It's not like he's missing words or he's not being not enunciating. I have that problem. I mispronounce words. I recognize this. I don't enunciate very well. So I just did it. But his is a completely different category. And yet he is a contextual critic. He does literally
He got
criticism, textual criticism, which is
I know.
words.
I'm sure you have him blocked.
I do.
But did you happen to see like what his response was when I started putting hashtag writing community response to
he
him?
got pissed.
It was visceral. He was big mad.
Yeah, I haven't blocked, but I can still view. But
and I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably a textual critic writer, and this is everything he puts out like this.
Tag those people, Chesh. You don't know what's going on. Like, you don't want to know what these people are capable of. And I'm like, eat my ass, Gary. And then
yes, Gary. Tell us what the group of people you hang out with are not capable of. Like, we haven't dealt with that, with them getting involved in things like, I don't know, lawsuits.
He was talking about what the writing community was going to do.
I know he was. But I mean, it's the same thing. It's just like, he's worried about the writing community. Okay, they don't give a shit about him, and he can't write.
Call up Rachel Oates and be like, "Hey, so I've heard about this writing community, and apparently they're going to come after me. I don't know."
Yeah, let Rachel Oates do a analysis of Gary's writing. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, look, I'm not a fantastic writer, but I can at least write a blog that's coherent, I think, for the most part. And sure, I have errors, and I have editors that help me fix this stuff, like the Intrigued Feline. But, I mean, even I don't think I'm anywhere near as bad as Gary. It's incoherent. Nor do I want to know I do care about is what is right. Yeah. He Heretical showed up. So
hey, man.
Long story short, Kyle showed he promised us again for the second time to turn everything over to contact my lawyer, which he didn't do the first time.
Isn't it the third time?
Third time, fourth time, fifth time. Who the fuck knows? But he also asked for a public defender, which was granted to him, even though he waived cancel on the other thing. He wants a public defender for his criminal charges, which he's allowed to by court, which means he is taking it seriously. The public defender is going to be no nonsense, so he has to come back to court on the 9th. And if he hasn't met the purge conditions, which is turning not just everything over, it's actually getting the finances together and his bank accounts and taxes, he will be held in civil contempt of court. So he has 3 weeks, 2.5 more weeks. Again, it's been 2 years. If that's the goal, to stretch it out, then sure, he's managed to do that. But in the end, I think it's going to completely bite him in the ass, because I don't think he's going to meet his deadline. I think he's going to wait to the very last minute, find out that, I haven't met all these purge conditions, and I'm going to tell Scott, look, if he hasn't met every single purge condition, throw his ass in jail. The attempt does not matter. It's because he has to meet those purge conditions. And we're going to ask to have the book thrown at him if he hasn't had anything done. And if he was smart, he would start literally tomorrow calling my lawyer and say, okay, what do you need? And start doing it and doing everything my lawyer asked him. But we all have found out Kyle's not the smartest person on the planet. Go figure.
I don't know. Maybe I might go back and watch another old episode of NonSequitur Show and just like sit back and watch and be like, okay, so I did one watching with KJ. Why don't we look at one with Jimmy Snow? Or let's go look at one with Caitlin Chloe and be like, are these people really the people that they present themselves as? Are they really?
That would be a good deep dive.
That was ruining this fucking channel.
No, I like that idea. I seriously like that idea. I really think that would be an interesting analysis of Non Sequitur. Because, the whole narrative was, Steve was bringing down the show. Wait, who brought on all the guests? What happened to the show after Steve left? Oh, it went to shit.
Well, the thing was I didn't go out of my way to pick like a bad Katie Joy episode. I just picked the first episode of The Smoking Nun, because that's going to be your first impression. This is the first impression that they wanted to give for the show. So maybe I'll go find the first episode of Ad Homies or something and be like, all right, let's see what they're presenting. What is this? What is this show?
Oh, Chris says, let me in on the Jimmy Snow watch along. I'm sure I'll be completely unbiased. Do it. Let him in on that.
Okay, I'm fine with that. You want to come on? We'll watch it together. Both of us will be completely unbiased.
Let's have a watch party. Let's all fly up to Canada and we'll have a watch party.
We'll sit on my couches and drink Kilkenny.
Your mom said she'd give us biscotti and cookies and donuts and brandy and whatever we ask for. She's going to wait on us hand and foot. Yes. Yeah.
Some apple crisps.
Apple crisp. Yes, I want apple crisp. I want poutine. I want Real poutine. Why can't I get real poutine? Nobody
If
has
we
it.
were going to, okay, so if you come and visit up here, whenever you're finally able to do so, we'll go to, there's 2 different bars we're going to go to, or 3 different bars. That's what we'll do. Okay, we'll hit up the Fiddle and Firkin, we'll hit up the Badger, and we'll hit up Juniors, because all 3 of them serve poutine, but also 3 of them serve different kinds. So 2 of them use cheese curds, 1 of them doesn't. They all use different fries, and all their gravy is different, and you can pick which one you like.
I'm down. Now, obviously, there has to be like ability to transfer across the border, but hopefully that'll be lifted. I know Australia is June of next year, but I think that here everything's supposed to be lifted by March, or I think.
You have a Canadian bar in Australia? I need to know tell me everything about this. We need to talk about this.
What is a Canadian bar?
Sir. Yes, yeah. I need to know this, sir. What are they serving like Canadian like beer, like as in like Canadian? Because like Molson Canadian, because I kind of hope not.
Yeah, I still want to have a get together. I still want, even if whatever happens with the non-sequitur, I think we owe it to people to have a get together. I do want to do some live stuff. I have been I've been meeting some people around town.
I need to open a big consulting business.
The problem is I don't want to like tell people exactly where I live. Obviously, it's dangerous.
It's called Caribou? They didn't even call it Moose? Caribou's fine. That's appropriate.
Caribou's? Well, that's Canadian.
Caribou's on our quarter. Yeah.
But yeah, I think a get together would be fun. We can even have Jessie. Maybe she's in New York, so maybe she might be able to come up to Canada. There's only one N in poutine. Yeah, whatever. Poutine.
No, poutine. There's
Putin.
No N.
Putin.
That's the leader of Russia.
Putin.
There you go. Putin. There you go. Yeah.
Don't come to Australia or be bored to death. No, I've been to Australia and I love the people. What I don't like is that everything's trying to kill you down there.
I kind of want to visit Australia. I've never been. I'd love to go travel. I want to do a NonSequitur Show tour.
Melbourne's nice. I had a good time in Melbourne. Everybody says go to Sydney, but
Melbourne or Melbourne?
Melbourne. Mm-hmm. Same. Well, that's how it's supposed to be pronounced, I believe. The natives call it Melbourne. But yeah, no, I enjoyed Australia. But that's so far. But if I went to that area, I would go to New Zealand, and that would only be just to visit Manya. Chris would be great too. Don't get me wrong. I love to visit Chris, but I want a Manya hug. Damn it. So if I was able to get down there, I'd go to New Zealand just to get a Manya hug.
If I went to New Zealand to visit Manya, I'd never leave.
Probably not. Yeah, New Zealand seems cool. Not everything's trying to kill you in New Zealand as it is Australia.
I'm just gonna hang out with Manya. I'm just gonna go like live under her bed or something.
Manya would be fun, man. We gotta like find a way to like actually get her out somewhere in real life.
Yeah.
Melbourne, pronounced Melbourne. See, I was told it's Melbourne. I don't know. I don't care. Call it whatever you want.
Were you told that by a local?
Yeah.
They might have just been fucking with you.
No. Is it not Melbourne? Maybe that's my lousy accent. Melbourne. All right. Well, anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. It's been going on for quite some time. Appreciate all the super chats. Hopefully I got your questions answered. Not a lot to really talk about. It's Melbourne. Called man bun in for Jimmy. Man bun.
Maybe that's what I'm going to do on Sunday. I'm going to start we did one for KJ. Now we'll do Jimmy next.
Yeah, and get Atheist Pastor on that episode. That'd be fun. But anyways, guys, or maybe the Aussie accent, Melbourne. Yes, maybe it could be. I don't know. I'm not Australian, although like I said, I did enjoy my time down there. Yeah. So, anyways, guys, leave me some comments.
Don't forget to like and subscribe and share and leave comments below about what you think about how wrong we are about everything and what you agree with us, what you don't agree with us. It actually really does help out if you guys start some conversations.
I love the comments. Yeah. I mean, I wish,
comment section.
I wish everybody would leave a comment, just something. It's not just for the algorithm. It's just I like reading comments. I used to be inundated with comments. I couldn't keep up. It hasn't been like that, obviously, since Non-Sequitur. But it used to be where I had, oh my God, I couldn't keep up with the comments. And I kind of missed that a little bit. But yeah, please leave some comments. So,
and come find me. I'll be over on my channel doing something stupid probably, eventually.
When's your next stream? What is today? Today's...
I don't
Friday. So
It's Friday.
yeah, I think I might do a philosophy stream this weekend on Sunday. I start working next week, and then I'm gonna have to figure out what my schedule is and kind of work around that for my streams. But I'll be able to do both. So
I guess Mondays would be my day off because we have Judgment Call on Monday.
yeah, like I said, we might have to move around the time, but I'm not working Monday. But that should be pretty flexible. I think I'm only be doing 5 to 6 hours a day. It may be more. I don't know. But if it is, it's probably the mid shift or the night shift. But who knows? Like I said, we're flexible. We'll move things around. But yeah,
we'll figure it out.
So Chris, reach out to Chesh on that to have a hang on that, and we'll see you guys later. Sound good? And I'll get this thing fixed where I can actually show people correctly, and hopefully my ticket in with YouTube, they'll figure out why I can't schedule these streams because it doesn't allow me to. So bye.
Bye.
Hang on, I can't do this. It's not working. There we go. Bye, guys.